Overwatch be coming to Nintendo Switch? All that and more coming in this video. Okay, so guys, today we have a pretty cool thing coming from the director of Overwatch. Now, Overwatch is one of the best-selling games of this decade alone. It is one of the most popular games of this decade. I have not heard more talk about a video game in real life in a long time. Everyone is playing Overwatch. It's the it game right now, I would say. The last time I've heard something this big is either League of Legends or Minecraft type stuff, and those are obviously huge titles. So, as a Nintendo fan, I of course would love to see Overwatch on the Switch personally because, number one, I own a Nintendo Switch and that's where I'll be playing all my games. Number two, as a Nintendo fan who wants them to succeed, having one of the biggest games of the generation on your console will be very nice, especially with Nintendo Switch being able to take your games on the go. So, an Overwatch fan who has the Overwatch, let's say, on the PC and is really interested in Nintendo games, that Overwatch player might consider getting a Switch. Having a PC and then a Switch as their console, because then they would have all of the Nintendo games and also have Overwatch to take on the go. Does that make sense? Like, you don't understand, like Overwatch fans, they are hardcore. I think they would definitely buy Overwatch if they had a Switch, because they would be able to play Overwatch on the go, which would be so cool. And being able to go to your friend's house for birthday parties or just have LAN battles, like that would be so cool. So I do think lots of people would be very open to the idea of Switch buying the Overwatch game on the Switch. Now, we have news from the director of Overwatch, which is mixed. It's good and it's bad news. Now, the good news is he didn't completely deny it. The bad news is it's very challenging, he says. It being very challenging is, you can assume, of course, that's because they would have to make it be able to go on the go. So that kind of stinks. And of course, the whole being able to just put your game on another console. I think if the Nintendo Switch sells very well by the end of holiday season, I think we could be looking at Overwatch coming I think that if the Nintendo Switch sells well up until like summertime, I think we could be seeing Overwatch coming to the Switch in holiday season or early 2018, but that's if it sells really well, I think. So he says it's very challenging. Now, that means it's possible. I think what they are personally talking about is it's hard, and they'll do it if it benefits them. If the Nintendo Switch doesn't sell well in the next few months, then I would say it's a definite no. But if the Nintendo Switch is very successful these coming months, it would be very beneficial for them to put Overwatch on the Switch to get more sales. So, Jeff Kaplan here. I am an Overwatch fan. I do play Overwatch, and even though I have it on my PS4, I would buy it on the Switch because it'd be so cool to play it on the go and have it on a Nintendo console. But let's see what Jeff has to say. Okay, so could Blizzard's popular shooter Overwatch come to Nintendo Switch? This is from GameSpot. Nothing is ruled out, but it sounds unlikely, according to director Jeff Kaplan. Getting Overwatch on a Switch is very challenging for us, but we're always open-minded about exploring possible platforms. So, this sentence alone is very good, because if the Nintendo Switch does become successful and they don't want Overwatch on it still, I think this indicates that future Blizzard games could be coming to the Switch. I mean, the Nintendo 3DS survived for like 6-7 years. The Wii survived for like 8-9 years, right? If the Switch survives 8-9 years, Overwatch 2 will be coming eventually. So this is a good sign that if the Nintendo Switch is successful and they like it, they are open to putting it on there. It's definitely not ruled out. So at least that's going for them. It's good to see that a big developer like Blizzard is at least considering the Nintendo Switch, because we've seen tons of developers say, oh no, we're not going to develop for the Switch, or some being very hesitant saying we'll see, but this one saying that it's a possibility it's a good sign for third-party supporter. Okay, so Kaplan added that his personally enjoying the Switch. So he is enjoying the Switch and is a fan of Nintendo hardware overall. The 3DS being his second favorite gaming system ever. And he did say what his number one is. I'm sure it's like, I don't know. What if it's like the Dreamcast? No, but it's interesting to see this. And the fact that the director of Overwatch owns a Nintendo Switch is very good, because that means this guy is playing on this console, and he is definitely thinking of ideas while playing. Overwatch, which is Blizzard's first brand new franchise in 17 years, when it came out May 17 years, really? What? By Blizzard's latest Overwatch has 25 million users. The game has not sold that many copies, but it does have 25 million users. The game continues to grow and evolve. The newest character is coming. Yep. So, if you are worried, thinking, okay, even if it does come out, it's going to come out way late. Well, the thing is, Overwatch is still updating things. People who own a Wii U never got to play Overwatch if they didn't get PS4, Xbox One, or PC. So, those are a lot of people who would buy the system, the game. The game is still selling a lot. They're still having tons of DLC or not DLC, but like just free content. So, it's still happening. Let's see what Polygon has to say about this. Same thing. I'm loving the Switch. The Nintendo Switch isn't the most powerful console in the market, but pretty significant margin. Overwatch doesn't require much in the way of system specs to be playable, so it's possible that it doesn't mean it would be challenging to get the game on the Switch in terms of performance, but that's likely at least part of the story. The other challenge is the fact that Nintendo isn't launching its... The paid online service isn't coming till fall. So maybe they want to see how the whole online service goes. So hopefully Nintendo really does this online service well to get third party on their side. Having Blizzard on your side would be really nice. If they can get Blizzard and they can get Bethesda. Sorry, my throat is, as you can tell, horrible right now. Bethesda on their side and Blizzard, and I don't know if they could get Rockstar on their side, but I kind of doubt that, just because of the type of games they create. That would be really nice to get like some really cool third-party support here. So, the dream of playing Overwatch on a portable is pretty exciting, and Blizzard has a large incentive to make it. Wait, what? Oh, okay. It was a link to Nintendo Switch selling 1.5 million copies in the first week. So yeah, if the system sells very well, and it's an undeniable success, like the... Okay, I'm not going to say like the Wii, because the Wii is like a once-in-a-lifetime, like, home run. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't have... Like, the whole crazy success of the Nintendo Wii just doesn't really happen that often, and it's very lucky when it does. So, I'm not going to compare the Switch's success to the Wii right now, because I think that's setting us up for disappointment, but we can be very optimistic. If it sells as good as, let's say, the Xbox One, they're missing on a third of sales, about a little less, because they have PC too, but like, they are missing on a huge margin of sales. So if the Switch can get, let's say, 10-15 million copies sold in the next year, sorry, if they can get like 10, 15, even 20 million copies, let's say in the next 2 years, 20 million, they are missing out on 20 million potential customers that I think would really buy Overwatch because of the whole portable aspect. So that's something very well to look at, and it's really nice to see a third-party developer and a big one like Blizzard at least considering it. So I would say for Nintendo right now, it would be best for them to try to bridge that gap. Try to make it as easy as possible for third-party developers to come and support. Trying to see if there's any comments. A lot of times I like just looking at the comments. Oh, here's some good comments. Okay. Little word missing in the headline. Oh. Let's skip to the next comment. Okay. Oh, that's all their comments. Welp. Let's see, does GameSpot have any good comments? 51. Okay, let's see if we have any good comments here. Would anyone in the right mind think that the Switch, which has frame rate issues with Breath of the Wild, game that is heavily reliant on aesthetic design rather than raw graphical power, could run Overwatch flawlessly at 60 FPS? Well, Solid Snake, I wouldn't jump to that conclusion just yet. Number one, the Breath of the Wild game was initially created for the Wii U. So, we don't know what a full-fledged 2017 created game for the Nintendo Switch looks like yet. I would say see how Mario Odyssey runs, see how Splatoon 2 runs. If it runs those games well, which I think it will run them pretty well. Mario Kart 8 is said to run at 1080p, 60 frames per second. I don't see how Overwatch could be horrible on the Switch. I think it would be just fine. Cybergen says, okay. I think it's funny how you guys laugh at Nintendo and third party, but when they got Bayonetta 2, suddenly you guys want that and all Nintendo games on your desired platform. Yes. No one really expected Bayonetta 2 exclusive on the Wii U, but it happened. So, anything could happen. Fox Furry says, could any third-party popular game come to Nintendo Switch? Nothing is ruled out, but it seems unlikely according to Director X. There, fixed it. By the likes of the Switch will have even less AAA than the Wii U. I don't know. I think it's safe to bet the type of system they're creating and have right now won't get all of the third-party games that it could if Nintendo made a basic, boring console that just played games. Like, I'm sorry to all the PlayStation and Xbox players out there. They innovate once in a while, but Nintendo strives to innovate gaming, and to really innovate gaming and to really accomplish new goals and to really change things up, you have to compromise some things, and I would rather a system with Nintendo games with really cool concepts and innovative ideas like the Switch, where I can take it on the go and play it at home, than a regular console just with better graphics than 10 years ago when the same console was released, just with a different number. And the reason for that is, number one, I'm a Nintendo fan, so I want to go wherever my Nintendo games are. And they're great Nintendo games. They're, I think, the best games out there are made by Nintendo. Number two, I personally could care less about graphics at this point. I think there comes a point where graphics don't really matter anymore. They matter, of course, but there comes a point where the next graphical update is you barely even notice it with your eyesight. Like, your eyes can only see so good of a graphical display. Once we get to over 1080p, you don't really spot the difference, and the difference isn't significant enough. So I say Nintendo can keep on innovating and do what they do best, and they will miss out on third-party support. Of course they will, because they aren't following the trend. But what they will accomplish is great, successful, cool, new ideas, and I would rather back that, just because I just don't really... I would rather a cool idea and cool games than cool graphics and boring ideas and boring games. And I'm not saying that PS4 and Xbox One only has boring games. I'm just saying Nintendo is really innovating the whole market here, combining the handheld market and the home console market. So I can give away some third-party support in exchange for that and still have a smile on my face. Thank you for watching. For more Nintendo news and discussions like this, make sure to subscribe. I promise I usually don't have this throat mess going on right now. I just really want to talk about this. I think it's very interesting. See you guys in the next video. Goodbye.